So I spend a lot of time with young people, listening to them, listening about what's happening in their lives. And I find that a question that comes up over and over again is friendships and how to be a good friend, and why don't people know how to be good friends to each other. And so today I thought I'd bring you just 3 simple tips on how to be a good friend. So tip number 1 is assume the best of the other. I cannot count the number of times that myself or other people have had a huge emotional response to something that has happened, and our brains have just done these crazy things where we tell the rest of the story based on the little information that we have, and then down the line we find out that actually this was going on for that person, or actually this thing intervened, or whatever the cause may be. And I found that I've never regretted assuming the best of the other person. Even if my worst outcome ended up being reality, I still didn't regret hoping in the best in the other person. And I find that it makes me a better friend. It helps me experience the situation from more than just my own feelings, that I can start to then rationally think about, oh, there might be another narrative here of what's happening. And it helps me not judge or condemn my friends on the limited scenario that's before me. So tip number 2 is to always be open to being surprised. I find that the times that I think I know what someone's going to do or what they are thinking or wanting, and they didn't want that, or they weren't thinking that, I felt like I let them down. Something in me wanted to control or hold them in a certain way or a certain mindset. And I've always been inspired by people that are open to someone growing, open to someone choosing something different. And I think that that's the thing, is that we have to always leave our friends open to choice, which means being surprised by their choices. That as much as we know them, as much as we can predict so much about them, I think it's very healthy to always be open to surprise, that they're a piece of creation, and God wants us to always be in wonder of creation, always to be open to the newness that's happening right before our eyes. So I find that I'm much better at loving my friends when I'm open to them being different to how I think they are, or having a new interest, or doing something a little bit differently to how I thought they would. It helps me really see the other rather than just interacting with my idealized version of who they are. And tip number 3 is to remember what's important to them. One of the best ways I think that you can love your friends is to really get to know them, get to know what moves their heart, what moves their mind. And it means that you might end up having conversations that you didn't originally think that you wanted to have. But when you get to know what's important to them, they'll come alive when they're talking about something that they're passionate about. And that's the most beautiful thing to encounter. And that helps us grow as well. When you get to know the particular way that their heart responds to love, when you're able to hit that spot as a friend, it's so beautiful. It's so delightful. It becomes a joy, something really fun to be able to love your friends that way. But it's also important, I think, in the hard times, like if someone's got a death anniversary or something really difficult going on in their life, checking in with them around those times or around those things that are really important to them in their world that might not seem as important to you because you're not as close to them, but knowing what's important to someone at the time and being able to meet them in that place, journey with them in that place, is a real gift that we can give to our friends. And I'll throw in a sneaky number 4. I think one of the best ways you can love your friends is to pray for them. Pray for them, pray that they become holy and that their holiness inspires you.